all right. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is that one and only, that beautiful Rhode Island Red Rooster. This is, we are live once again. I did want to go with a better title, but I couldn't really think of one. So we're just going to do a Q and I'm also going to be put some things out there about what's going on in the 2023 season that could be very beneficial because of us being not being profitable back in 2022. Had to be looking at the market very closely to see if there was to see if the information was correct, and indeed it is. So I can go ahead and give you an explanation as to why things are the way that they are going into 2023. So as you guys come in, give me a sound check. Let me know everything is good, and we can go into tonight's science. Cause I was gonna look into something, but I mean, it was really pretty much self-explanatory. Everybody went to super ego. You know, it's a lot of people going over there to super ego, and then you know, I guess whatever goals that they things just didn't work out over there and stuff. And so I didn't need I didn't need to go into a whole big explanation as to why things didn't work. Basically, it's a program set on failure. On top of that, there was a lot of people that were starting out incorrectly. They wasn't doing things the right way and stuff. So when we were putting these lessons out here, okay, Ray Sean, thank you. Okay, all right, yeah, hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah. Okay, but yeah. So people just went over there to super ego and tried to make things work for the most part, but it's just a bunch of it was just a people that was very unprepared. So we get these lessons about you know the necessariness of knowing what you're getting yourself into. When you see the people that went over there to super ego, you see the same inconsistency. You know, people that go from company to company, still taking that same failed logic with them everywhere that they go. And so, okay, well, it's this carrier, it's this carrier, it's this carrier and stuff. And so, um, you look a whole year and they don't, a lot of these guys don't work for like 4 or 5 different carriers in one year. They just couldn't um, make things work, so to speak, and stuff. But then when you look at the sciences that go along with it, okay, well, they run into an issue and not understanding that, in business, there are going to be a lot of times where you're not going to be profitable. You see, you're not going to be profitable in business 100% of the time. It's a series of things that need to fall into play for you to make sure that you're profitable. But when you're starting out from zero, when you're starting out from zero, you are renting quick. You're renting equipment, which is what it is. Guys being lease purchase programs. There's certain things that you have to do at that particular junction. So one of the things that we talk about is the importance of making sure that your credit and stuff is straight. So you're getting a $500-600 check. You're getting a $500-600 settlement, and um, you're not really understanding the business aspect of things. You're waiting for people to do things for you that you could be doing for yourself. You see, you know, just because you're in a lease program doesn't mean that you escape from the responsibilities of being an own operator, which they will let you know The second, that something needs to be done on a business aspect. If something goes on with your equipment, then again, you're reminded that you're an own operator. If you pay, if you pay on Friday, when it's time to get those settlements and stuff, again, they let you know that you are indeed a own operator. You know, but they, they, which the carrier that you're leased on with, they treat you or tell you that you need to run yourself as a company truck, as a company driver. Keep a company driver aspect, but then, now when it's time to really take care of the business, when it's time to take care of the business side of things, okay, yeah, now you don't operate. So, one of the things that was said around December was that the government had intervened with the railroad. They pushed the policy to make sure that those people inside the railroad didn't go on strike, and so they pushed policy very quickly, make sure that the people in the railroad got what they needed, and you haven't heard anything from me. It was a one and done. Everybody's satisfied. Business as usual. And so several drivers were putting out information saying, well, how come that the government didn't intervene and help out us in trucking? And so, I'm here to tell you that the government is indeed going to help us out in trucking. They're indeed going to help us out in trucking, because what they're going to do is that they're going to remove the lease aspect. They're going to remove the lease aspect in trucking. It's like the um, what they call over there in California. They're just going to be doing it federally. And the reason why they're doing it federally is because they're seeing that the reason why the very program was started up, the very reason why the program was started up was to increase small business. It was for the increasement of small business and to produce lots of six-figure people in order to pay taxes, in order to pay taxes stuff, federal, state, that sort of thing. That was the reason why the lease program uh, was produced. People got together and they were saying, well, hey, um, either a person has to be an own operator, and with being an own operator, you have these startup costs. You have these startup costs which cannot be financed, by the way. So what we're doing is that if you allow us to lease, right, then what that's doing is that it's eliminating the startup costs that a lot of people can't afford, right? And then giving them, but they're allowed to make six figures, and with these six figures, they're able to, create small business inside a business and be producers of, you're making six figures or whatever. You're talking about transportation that is $1 million. Well, I mean, transportation makes up 12% of the economy, and you're talking about well over 1 million people inside the transportation sector. And so, but at the time, you can only be own operator, company driver. So we're going to, if you allow us to lease, there's going to be an increase in small businesses, and you're going to see a lot of six-figure people out here making money, paying taxes, these sort of things. They're going to be starting up businesses and stuff like that on the aspect there. So that's what it looked like on paper. They said, okay, all right, fine, let's do that. So we'll give companies the incentive of starting. You can lease in order to become own operators. All right, fine. So a lot of things that they said was correct. Yeah, they was gonna produce a lot of six-figure people. Problem is that your fees are gonna be so astronomically high that although you are making six figures, is that everybody's gonna be taking a loss, including the people that insisted on starting the lease program. So, all right, let's start with people that get into the lease, right? Now, the average lease, the average lease overhead is somewhere around 2,000. It's anywhere between $2,000 to $2,600 a week. That's how much you're paying a week. All right, so that's putting you $135,000. That's $135,000 a year, right? It's $135,000. Okay. Now, did you make six figures? Of course you did, because 52 weeks of paying $2,600 a week. That's exactly all right. Happy New Year to you too, Mr. Williams. 26 a week times 52 is $135,000. So that's just going into fees. That's just going into fees. Um, Last year, diesel fuel was averaging about 500. It's ranges about $5.50 a gallon, right? So you take, you guys that had to run 3,000 miles a week, you got to run about 3,000 miles a week. You talk about well over what 400 gallons of fuel, around three. I don't want my math to be incorrect and stuff. So hold, let me go get my calculator and we can do this together. So I'm not putting out any kind of false information. Hold up, let me just find my handy dandy calculator. Y'all guys give me a second. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Yep. Just so I don't sit out here and start just spewing stuff just for the sake of spewing it, you know, because it's not this type of channel. All right. Somebody said $1,500 in fuel costs. Okay. Well, that's I think it's going to be a little bit higher than that. I think it's going to be a little bit higher than that, but let's see what the calculator says so we don't do. All right, now, you guys that are in these lease programs getting these brand new trucks and saying that these trucks are doing about 7.5 miles to the gallon. So we'll give you that. We'll give you 7.5 to the gallon, right? So you take the miles that you need to run. You see you got to have over 3,000 miles. So we got 3,000 miles. And then we divide that up by 7.5, and so that gives you 400, right? That gives you 400. You see, hold on, let's get this up here. This thing, here we go. See, 3,000 miles, divide that by 7.5, that gives you 400. Okay. All right, guys, 3,000 miles is what you got to have a week. All right, so you take 400, that represents the gallons of fuel that you got to have. And so we take 400 and we multiply that by 5.50. 5.50. And that gives you $2,200. $2,200. All right. Now, you multiply that by 52, and that gives you $114,400. That makes you a six-figure earner, right? That makes you a six-figure earner. So you got $135,000. You got $135,000 in fees. You spent another $114,400 in fuel, right? So um, you combine that together, 135,000 times 114,400. Okay, wait a minute. That's wrong. 135,000, and we add that with 114,000. 114,400. That is $249,000. Okay, so that makes you a top 5% earner. That makes you a top 5% earner. Okay, $135,000, and you got $114,000 in fuel. Now, how much of that you're going to take home? How much of that you're going to take home? So you got the fees, you got the diesel fuel you got to pay for, and 3,000, at 3,000 miles a week. How much of that is profit? You got $249,000. Now remember, there were companies out here and stuff that were saying that their own operators are averaging what, about 100 and what they say, $175,000, $200,000. Nobody was, I never seen a outfit. Let's see, F2S they was advertising. F2S was advertising. They said, well, their top earner. They said their top earner made $375,000. $375,000, right? Their top earner. Okay, so if their top earner made $375,000 and yet his fees were these fees and stuff right here, then let's see. So you take 375 and you subtract that from 249. So the top earner made $126,000. $126,000. Now, I don't want people to. I don't want people to. This is not trying to offend anybody, right? This is not trying to offend. It's not trying to offend anybody. It's just I'm doing this because a lot of people that go into these lease programs, they don't know how to read. They don't know how to do math. So we're doing the facts and figures right here in real time, and I'm just telling you what you're up against. So when people say that nobody's out here producing the information, well, here it is. And we're doing it in real time, and then we're showing you the importance of understanding the contract that you get into so that you can increase your revenue and move towards the next step, which is ownership. But when you can't do it when you got $135,000 going to fees. You got $135,000 going to fees, and then you're spending $114,000 in diesel fuel, and yet you're taking loads. You're taking loads grossly under par. You're taking it under par, and the average was $5.50, and your truck is doing 7.5 miles to the gallon, or at least that's what a lot of people are claiming. Okay, well, my truck is at maximum fuel efficiency. I'm doing that at 7.5, so that's at the best case scenario, not the worst case. So you're actually spending a lot more in fuel. You're actually spending a lot more in fuel. You're taking loads under par, and then you're saying that, well, you're agreeing with the carrier when they tell you that, well, hey man, you don't really need a rate confirmation sheet. You don't need a rate confirmation sheet, but yet at the same time, the people that you're leased on to, they're steady buying new trucks and new trailers, and a supposed market where you yourself aren't even being profitable. You're in the hole every week. Things have gotten so bad for you to a point where you got to abandon ship. Hey man, listen, I got to leave this truck here at a truck stop. I got to leave it here at a truck stop. And so, uh, I seen this one video with this one uh, particular young lady where that's what she had to do and stuff. And so, she went over there to Super Ego. She wasn't making any money. Things got so bad where she had to leave the equipment. She had to leave the equipment where it was and stuff, man, and just go home and say, look, you guys are going to have to come get this truck and this trailer and complete the task or whatever because I'm not making any money. She says that she's working for free, which indeed you are not working for free. You are working for the fee. It's just the fee is going to be the fee. But because they're in control of truck, trailer, and load, and then drivers up here agreeing and steady working for carriers that say, well, hey, listen, you don't have to produce um, anything. Whatever you guys say and stuff, that's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be and stuff. And yet, how are these carriers still able to operate and buy new trucks and new trailers? Because you are definitely taking the loss, right? You're definitely taking the loss because there's not a time in there where you're being profitable. Even if you're making a settlement, remember now you still owe fees to the company. And what they're doing, they're just taking it out in small increments every week instead of just calling your tab and say, well, hey, listen, your 2290 needs to be paid before you can operate. Now we'll take your 2290 and divide it up into 52. Your base plate, again, something that has to be paid up front. Okay, we'll pay for your base plate and then we'll just divide it up by 52, and yet we'll add our fee and stuff on to it because we were the ones that had to pay for it up front. So you see, all your upfront costs is something that the carrier is paying for upfront and saying that, well, we'll divide it up in increments of 52 and add it into your overhead fee. And this is why your overhead fee is $2,600 a week. So you're not being profitable. You're not being profitable. So then the carrier, they're able to write off all loss because what they're saying, well, I got a contract with this guy right here, and he didn't fulfill this contract, and so you guys are telling me, well, if you leave the carrier, that it's gonna cost you $5,000, probably a little bit more, right? So you ain't got $5,000 because you wasn't even making profitable in this lease program. So they get to take that loss. They get to take that loss and write that off too. So nobody's paying anybody anything. So when the IRS receives the money that you made, they're saying, "What the heck on? Wait a minute, hold up. This guy made $249,000. He made $249,000 and stuff. So hey, they puts him in 20. That puts him in the 24%. That puts him in the 28% tax bracket. Depending on what state and stuff you're in, right? It might be a little bit higher and stuff, but they saying, they doing the Birdman hand rub and stuff. So like, man, shit, yeah. But then, so the IRS, they catch on and stuff, and they saying, well, all right, wait a minute, he's supposed to be making six figures and stuff, but then we don't see anything where he's making a profit. Yeah, he paid this in fees and stuff, so that means that the carrier got it. So the carrier is saying that, hey man, we got it. The tax code said that we could take a loss. We could take a loss on anybody that gets into this lease. If they don't fulfill their contract, then we got to write this whole thing off as a loss. Look at YouTube. We had to go and recover a truck. We had to go over here and recover a trailer and stuff like that. Something happened to the truck, something happened to the trailer. So these are impending costs and stuff that's on us. So we're not being profitable, but yet they're making $135,000 off of each truck. You know what I'm saying? So over 10, if you got over 10 trucks, that's $1 million. That's a little over $1 million. That's a little over $1 million a week. But all the operational costs and stuff is on the driver that's leased on with that, the driver that's driving the truck. He has to pay the fee. So the only thing that we can claim the only thing we can claim a profit on is, the loads and stuff that we do. The loads and stuff that we book. But we have to take those profits there and apply that to our lease program. And this is our loss statement and stuff. So we turn it in and stuff, and we're not profitable either. Oh well, yeah, you're right. You qualify and stuff, so they get to write everything off, and then people are sitting over here upset when you look at folk like Donald Trump. And I'm just saying, I'm just using this for an example, that people are sitting there and they're just astonished by the fact that, well, he didn't have to pay any kind of taxes because he understood the tax codes. Just like a lot of these carriers, they understand these tax codes, so they saying, what the heck on? They're over here, they're making billions of dollars a year. But yet, what are they paying in the taxes? They're not paying anything because they're saying that, well, we had to create programs in order to produce small business. And yet these small businesses are failing. And when they fail, somebody has to incur the cost. So we're eating up the cost. Truck Abdullah, what's going on with you? So the government has finally intervened and they're looking around. They say, okay, enough is enough. So this lease thing just isn't working anymore. So if you're going to be an owned operator, unfortunately, you're going to have to start up your own costs. You're going to have to start up. You're going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay the cost. There's no more financing this thing anymore. You're either going to be an owned operator, you're going to be a company driver, because nobody's producing anything. So, the AB5 that was over in California, they looking and they were saying, well, hey, it's somewhat successful because there's no confusion of where people are in employment. And so, when you're looking in trucking, they're saying, well, I mean, it's supposed to be, on paper, it's supposed to be, you're making six figures and you're supposed to be producers of small businesses that are all profitable. And it's just not coming to fruition because the people that you're released on with, they control the comings and goings of the business, the truck, the trailer, the fees, the loads, the policy and procedure and stuff. And so, they roll out something else, things that you're supposed to know, and they're telling you, okay, well, don't worry about it. We'll find your loads even though you really are an owned operator, and being that you are leased on to the carrier, being that you're leased on to the carrier, you have the right to go out here and find freight. As long as they filled out a carrier packet, you can talk to other brokers. You can talk to other brokers, other trucking businesses or whatever, as long as you filled out the carrier packet. So you can go there and you can haul their loads. Because, what the dispatch is really supposed to be doing, they're supposed to be looking and making sure, they're supposed to be looking and seeing, okay, if there's any kind of freight and stuff available outside of the contracts that they already supposedly have. They're supposed to be looking outside and seeing, okay, if there's any kind of flowing revenue that's out there. That's the spot market. Because they're stationary and they got the best internet service. They got these supercomputers and stuff. Um, they got these computers and supercomputers and stuff. And instead of them going up here and looking for loads and stuff, to where you could be profitable, they're saying, well, shoot, hey, I'm going up here on Instagram and Facebook and Netflix and Hulu or whatever and stuff, right? Because the person that supposedly is in charge of your business is an employee, and that employee doesn't get any kind of incentive to make sure that you make money. You're making money, okay, that's fine, but they don't get a cent of it. They're paid to sit there and monitor drivers and make sure that, well, they're doing what they're supposed to do if they get a load. But we'll find the loads. We'll find the loads. That's why you got different sectors that's inside the trucking business, and they're saying, well, hey, look, we already know how we're going to make our money. We're doing contract freight. That's it. We're not going to get our trucks tied up. We're not going to get our trucks tied up in spot market freight, because if something happens, If something happens and now, we got contracts we got to fulfill, you know, the contract loads, which we have, they're supposed to be covered by our contractors, we put that in jeopardy. So if the next load ain't coming out till 2 days later and stuff, then hey, okay, look, your job is to sit there and get this guy under control and under wraps until that load comes out. He's in the area that he needs to be in and stuff, but we tell him what's really going on, then what they're going to do is they're going to start looking at things from a business perspective and say, okay, well, yeah, you do have me sitting for 2 days to cover this contract break, so you're going to have to let me in on the deal and say, you want me sitting for 2 days, then you got to give me 2 days of layoff. Make it make sense. You got the contract. You want me to be over here and cover the contract freight. So what we need to be doing is renegotiating this. We need to be negotiating this contract to make sure that we're profitable on all sides. But see, your dispatcher don't understand that because they're an employee. They get paid. They get paid every week, regardless of how many miles and stuff you run. But their job is to make sure to keep you under wraps that when you call in and you start asking questions or being hysterical, okay, calm down. We're gonna make things and stuff better. Let me go over here and talk to the load plan and see we can't get you moving. If not, we'll talk to the fleet manager, whatever, but to keep the morale to a point to where everything is under control and stable. But instead, you get out here and you make YouTube videos and say that, well, oh, well, my dispatcher doesn't like me. My dispatcher doesn't like me. They're doing things personally against you. They're doing things personally against me. I'm a runner. Of course they know that. But the problem is that you're wasting time with people that don't have an understanding about business. You're a business person and you're trying to get an employee to understand how business works. And that's where you're wasting the time at. They got this phrase out here where they say, never talk to the help. Never talk to the help. And the reason why they tell you to never talk to the help is because the help doesn't understand or they're not there for the aspect of business. You're not talking to the business people, you're talking to the employees. You're talking to the employees. And so as a business person, you find yourself wasting time a lot of times. And then you feel like things are just, these people don't understand me, which they really don't. They don't understand. They're not there to understand business. They're employees that's in charge of your business. So what you have to do if you're getting into these leases or whatever, you have to understand what that is. You're a business person, and you need to make sure that your conversations are around people of business. Okay, who are the people that got something to lose in here? Because obviously your dispatcher don't. Because if they did, they'll be jumping on the load board saying, "Well, yeah, of course that's crazy. I got an empty truck, an empty trailer over here. I got an empty truck, an empty trailer over here with the potential of making revenue, and he's just going to sit there in some truck stop? Absolutely not. I got to find them something, even if that something isn't very profitable, but it gets them into a position, into an area where you can be profitable. Because again, you're not going to always be profitable in business, but how you get profitable in business is that sometimes you have to take losses in order to get big gains. So, you know, the guys over there at Super Ego and these other carriers are making these phone calls and talking to the dispatcher and stuff, and nothing is really getting done because the people again that you're talking to, they don't understand business. That's not their job. Just like, well, I talked to the dispatch on night shift, the skeleton crew, and they can't get anything together. Of course not. No, they're there to make sure that the people that do have loads are getting to where they need to get to, and somebody needs to call in and stuff and say, well, look, I need to get paid. I got a 2 a.m. appointment. I got a 2 a.m. appointment, and they're charging $300-400 for the unload. Somebody's there to cut you a check, so you don't have to wait till 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. So they got those employees that are there to make sure that those things and stuff are in order. Otherwise, that hey, you guys are free to look at the computer and stuff, make yourself comfortable. In fact, we'll set up a TV in here and get you snacks and stuff like that. Just make sure that, if the driver actually needs something, we get that covered. But, there are going to be some people that's asking questions about loads and stuff like that. Feed them whatever nonsense you need until they come in, until the real business people come in at 7 o'clock in the morning, okay? All right. And there it is. So that you're not wasting time. The people who really can't do anything for you in your business. So, it's like I said before, yeah, I'm for AB. I was for AB5. I was for AB5 and stuff, and so the guys that are in this business, that are trying to get things and stuff started, my reason of being up here is to inform you of what you need to do in order to get things done quickly. Eliminate the back and forths with people that are not going to be doing things for you on a business perspective. Get your money, get your credit up. Once you get your credit up and stuff, get that equipment back and then start doing things for yourself because you're starting from absolute zero. But you got to get familiarized with the things that you can and can't do. Okay, so yeah, you can technically find your own loads, right? You can technically find your own loads and stuff. And so, even if it's not profitable, if it puts you in a better position to get you a load that's going to pay money, then that's what you do. But, you surrendered all that to your dispatcher, say, oh, they're going to find loads for me. They're going to find loads for me. Okay, well, I'm with this lease program over here and stuff. Okay, well, are you allowed to find your own freight? No, they're going to find the freight for me. All right, well, then you're putting yourself in a very compromisable position. Because in 6 months you're not going to have anything that you're not going to have things that you need in order to move to the next step. Because even though you got good credit, you ain't got no capital. Even though you got good credit, you ain't got no capital. So even if you get approved for you fix your credit. Now the guys are telling you that okay, we need 10% down or 15% down. You can't put anything down because you ain't got no money. So you got to get the business people attention. The ones that are really going to take the loss, the real movers and shakers. And then you got to explain to them that you understand business, and they'll put you on the right track. But their job is to get you over there, make sure that you take care of the stuff that you take care of, and be as comfortable as possible. I had a phone call with a person that I know personally, right? A person that I know personally, and she still isn't understanding anything that I'm talking about. I've been in this business for 21 years. You know me for over 15 years. She gets a load. She gets a load and stuff from North Carolina. They tell her to deadhead all the way down to Florida. Dead all the way down to Florida, almost 700 miles to go pick up a load that's supposed to be going to Ohio. I'm like, man, that's not smart. They got you doing that? They got you deadheading all the way from North Carolina up to New York to go pick up a load and take it to Iowa? That's not making sense. Oh well, they pay me for the miles. Oh yeah, really? They pay you for that. This particular carrier that you leased on with. Okay, how many trucks do they have? They got over 30. They got over 3,200 trucks. They got over 3,200 trucks, and they got you deadheading all the way down to Florida. So let's do the math and stuff again, right? They got 3,200 trucks, right? 3,200. And we got 48 states we got 48 states in North America. So you take 3,200 and you divide it by 48, and you'll get this number right here. All these sixes and stuff right now. So since a lot of people don't understand what math is, right? Since they don't understand what math is that you got 66.66666, right? So anything past the decimal point, if the value of the number is higher than 5, then you go up. If it's lower than 5, then you go down. So it's actually 67. So in each state, they got they can have possibly 67 trucks in each state. 48 states. And they got you in North Carolina going way up to New York to pick up a load. They got you going way down there to Florida to go pick up a load. You got over 3,200. You got over 3,200 trucks, 3,200 drivers, 66 trucks in each state on average. So you got to be looking at these numbers from a business perspective, and then say, well, you know what? Does that make sense? Does that make sense and stuff for them to hit me up and give me that load assignment and stuff there, or is there something else in play? And so just sure enough, she dead heads down there and the load councils. Right when she gets to Florida, the load councils. Now, why did they do that and stuff? Because it was a power move. It was a business move. The people of business understood. Okay, yeah, let's get her down there and stuff, and then once she gets down there, okay, yeah, we'll tell the load council because this is where we actually want it at. And now that the load council, okay, well, let's look at what the policy and procedure says about the pay to these type of things here. Now you're under a different pay structure to get you the load that they actually want you to do and stuff, and then they reconstruct that, and then well, hey, since you're down there and stuff, right, you might as well go and take this load here. I'm sorry that load counts, but see, people don't think that rate confirmation sheets and stuff are more important. Okay, well, I don't need a rate confirmation sheet. We're not producing any rate confirmation sheets because you don't have anything to go by. Because on the business aspect, okay, well, all right, if this load is indeed a load and stuff, right, you can produce these things. So if I have to really make that move over there and you're paying me and this load counsels, if this load counsels, then, I still qualify for that pay. I still get that, I still get that, I still get that percentage of that load because we have an agreement to say that, well, if something was to happen in the midst of me going down here, right, that's also on paper too. That's also on the rate confirmation sheet, which you say that you don't need. So you got a lot of that's going on. But yet, hey, I'm still comfortable because I got this 2022. I got this 2022, and I'm doing a whole bunch of driving, which I'm saying it's not really necessary. Things aren't getting done the way that they're getting done. Okay, well, what is it that you're producing after everything is said and done? Is your credit straight? Nope. Are you any closer to ownership? Nope. Is you getting your business and stuff the way that you're supposed to? Well, yeah, I'm still in business. I'm leased on. So then we start to pull up what a company driver does and the benefits that they have and so on and so forth and say that, well, hey, at the end of the day, that's what you need to be. Because if you're a company driver, then you qualify for these benefits. There's no confusion about it. But at the same time, as a company driver, a lot of things and stuff that go on with you being an own operator or being in this lease program, these things won't happen because, see, the cost then is incurred on the company. But your job is simple. Is that whatever loads and stuff that they shoot your way, you go, you pick them up, and you deliver them. Which is basically what you're doing in the lease program. But from an optic perspective, they're telling you, okay, you have the right to say no. But if you say no, then well, you're going to be sitting. But hey, I'm sitting anyway. I'm not going to find you. Well, if you turn this load down, I'm not going to find no more freight for you today. This is what your business person is telling you. If you turn down this load that you know that you're not going to be profitable, you're not going to be profitable with, this same load that if you was a company driver and they were responsible for the incurring costs, there would be no way, no how that they would tell you to go over there and do that. But your business person tells you if you turn this load down, well, hey, look, you're gonna be sitting about 3, 4 days because there's nothing out there, and they're sitting in front of the device that they could go out here and they can look at tons of loads. Many of them are right there in that same area that they can pick up a phone call and stuff, talk to a particular broker, get this load booked up, and keep you moving. Because you turned down this contract load that they really wanted you to haul. So yeah, the government's gonna come in. They're gonna eliminate that, and so you can go back to now being a company driver where you can actually be profitable again. Now you're not gonna be a small business. You're not gonna be a small business, but I mean, hey, there are some company drivers out here making six figures. You got this one woman that was up here saying that she made $135,000 as a company driver. So yeah, the government is intervening. They're going to help you out too because again, a lot of people don't know how to read. They don't know how to do math, but yet they know how to make tons of YouTube videos and stuff. Complaining about the business or whatever. And saying that they got a so-called understanding about the business to a point to where it puts them in financial ruin. It puts them in financial ruin so harshly that they got to go out there and create OnlyFans just to make money, which is also a business venue too. When will they learn? Good question. Great question. When will they learn? If you have a real true desire of being successful in this business, you're gonna learn through those mistakes. You're not gonna continuously make them. You see what I'm saying? You got to keep an eye on a lot of these guys that go from carrier to carrier to carrier to carrier to carrier. You sit over here. It's been a whole year. You don't work for 5 and 6 carriers, and all of them have the same problem, which is hiring you. But you're supposed to have an understanding about the business. I mean, it's almost for somebody, for those that are initiated into the business, it's almost embarrassing, to see these guys and stuff. I mean, just go from one carrier to another carrier to another carrier to another carrier, doing these same things and stuff. And so, you're supposed to be a business person. You're supposed to understand these contractual agreements, the comings and going in business. Again, you're supposed to be understanding these things. Okay, well, yeah, it's a lease program. I know I'm coming in with zero money down, but I'm not getting comfortable in this program. I'm gonna go in here and get what I got to get and stuff because the next step is for me, or the last step is for me to have complete and total independence, having my own authority. So it's not up for me to go over here and get my authority and just to come back over here and do things, to work for a company that got a lease. I'm gonna get my own authority, but all I'm gonna do is Landstar loads. I'm gonna do Landstar loads and TQL and CH Robinson. You know, yeah, I am my own person, but I'm pretty much have to survive off the I'm pretty much have to survive off the spot market. So you can't be doing that. Your objective and your goal is that when you get to that point of you getting your own authority, is that, man, look, you got contracts, and once you got those contracts and stuff, that's it. That's what floats your business, is that you have a true business partnership. So when you're picking up the phone, you're talking to the other person that you do business with. And there's no middle people that's inside there. No employees and stuff. The employees are picking up the phone and saying, hello, this is such and such. Who may I contact? Uh, who you want to speak to? And really, you won't even talk to them. Because if you truly got a contract, then the person that you in business with, you got their cell phone number to call them directly. Now I don't talk to any of your employees and stuff, other than if I come to your building, if I come to your building and stuff, again, I mean, they're there and they're just showing you where the office is. They're showing you where the office is and stuff. Yeah, yeah, would you like coffee or something to drink? Yes, ma'am. Please bring me this or bring me that. You see, that's the only time you really talk to the help is if they're taking your order and stuff. Other than that, they're not. You don't even need to be talking to them and stuff, man, about pointing you in the right direction. You should already know where you're going. Never talk to the help. So you see, I hope that that information is helpful and stuff. So for even with us being drivers and stuff like that, just try this experiment and stuff out, and see how successful you're going to be. When you go to shippers and receivers, those people that's in there and stuff, they're employees. The people that's checking you in, the people that's checking you in and stuff, take a look around and see what's going on inside. See what's going on inside their office. If they got a computer, look what's on the computer screen. See where their cell phones and stuff at. See where their cell phones and stuff at. If you see anytime you see a person they got a cell phone up in the place of business, you know you're dealing with an employee. And so when you're dealing with an employee, you know that you're not going to really get business handled. So don't waste your time talking to the help. That means you give them the information, or I done got to a point, man, where I just write all my information down. I just give it to them on a sheet of paper. Guys, I don't even want to waste my time or my breath or my energy on any person that's an employee. I don't want you asking me, hey, how you doing, or having any kind of conversation, none of that stuff there, because all my conversations are eventually going to lead to business. And if I know that you're not in a business setting or you're not a business person, then anything that you're going to tell me and stuff is going to be it's not going to be beneficial. And employees a lot of times want to put themselves into authoritative positions when in fact they're not. And when they tell you something, the information a lot of time is going to be false. It's going to be false. They can't even tell you where the restroom is. Hey, where's the restroom at? It's down the hall on the left hand side. When it's not even down the hall. It's the other way. Employees like to fake the funk, man. They like to be in authoritative positions, but in order to be authoritative position, you got to understand business. So you're not saying things to be facetious or to be cruel and malicious or whatever. You're doing things for the purpose and the aspect of business efficiency. But they think it's about being a boss and stuff. Oh man, just sitting back and got your big cigar, you got your big cigar up and stuff like that, and just able to, you know, just say things and stuff like that. Oh well, you say the wrong thing to me and stuff. I'm gonna get rid of it. That's what they think is about being a boss. Oh well, I make all, I'm just making all this money and stuff like that when they don't even have a clue as to what it means to really be a boss. But they'll waste your time. They'll waste your time. So look at these places that you go to and see what they're doing. If they sitting around listen to the radio or whatever, they're sitting around, they're listening to the radio and stuff, that's what they're doing a lot of time. They got the radio blasted up so high that you can't even talk to them and stuff and give them the information. Or when you give them the information, you got to repeat it 3 and 4 times. Business people, you only got to tell them one time because they understand that, look, hey, I'm about efficiency. I'm going to listen to what this person and stuff is saying because anything else is just going to be a waste. I want to get this business and stuff done and stuff so I can go ahead and get this wrapped up and get paid off of this and move on to the next thing. Why is it when you go to places that, yeah, these same places that take about 3 4 hours to load and stuff, but then when you go back in there, do you see the same people? Do you see the same people from last week unloading your truck this week? Even though you went back in, even though you're going back in at the same time, because they got a rotation, because they got a rotation of people that they're hiring and firing, all because of the aspect of business. So much so to a point to where these businesses are taking too much of a loss to where they got to shut this business down and then move it to another place. They done rotated people in there so much that they done fired everybody. They're not eligible for rehire. So they ain't got now they got a shortage of staff and stuff to a point to where they just out of employees altogether. It's never the same people when you go inside these places, because when they come in and they get those reports and stuff, they're saying, okay, this person is efficient, this one isn't. All right, well, let's get rid of this person. Let's bring some new fresh blood in. They'll tell them the same thing. Hey, look, these are the type of numbers that you need to be producing. If you're not producing these numbers, you're going to be out of here. But then it's a mystery to him and stuff, man. Daggone, why did he get rid of? Why I get fired? Oh man, it's got to be something personal. No, it's just you wasn't efficient. You wasn't the efficient person, so they had to get rid of him. But when you start to understand the efficiency of the work that you do, now you're getting into a business aspect and a business mindset of things. Okay, I don't want to be an employee no more. If this is what it's about, I don't want to be an employee. I want to be in control. I want to be in control of the service that I render. And I want to be compensated for the service that I render. And I ain't trying to wait no whole week and stuff to do it. So, you know, when people start understanding that, they're gonna start picking up books, and then you're gonna be looking around and saying, okay, well, this person right here, he's about business. He ain't wasting time. He ain't got no phone and stuff. He ain't got no phone looking at YouTube and Instagram videos. Now he's not gonna be here very long because even the conversation that you're having with him and stuff, it's on a business aspect. He's speaking your language. Yeah, you're not going to be here very long because when I look around, yeah, you're going to have your own business. You're going to be, hey, look, I got some business cards and stuff created. I'm about out of here and stuff. I'm going to be opening up my own business. This is what I'm going to be doing. It's going to be similar to this, but, you know, it's going to be bigger, better, and more efficient. All the PPP money and SBA money is dried up. It's done dried up and stuff. And so, people are going to have to get back to work now. So, um, if you guys have been looking around, if you guys have been looking around and you've been seeing the price of equipment, yeah, they done dropped the prices on the equipment and stuff almost $30,000 and $40,000. Just go on any Facebook Market now and stuff. I guess that's a good thing about 2022 not being profitable, is that all the money and stuff is dried up. So that means that equipment is getting back. If you got cash, you can go get those cash equipment now, cash truck, cash trailer, and you get it at fair market value. You get it at fair market value. So anybody was wondering, okay, when is a good time to buy some equipment? You can buy it now. All of 2023, if you want to buy some equipment, you can, because it's at fair market value now. I've been looking around and stuff like that. I thought it was maybe a fluke in some of these areas, but uh, these trucks are getting back very affordable. Yeah, absolutely. If you go to the auction now and stuff, you're gonna get, you can go to the auction now. You can go to the auction now and stuff. The problem is that many people wasn't very profitable in the 2022, so it's gonna be a lot of window shopping. But if you saved up and you got your credit and stuff straight and you're ready to make that next move and stuff like that, then, well, what I can say, you're not gonna be paying an arm and a leg for a piece of equipment. They have dropped these prices astronomically. I'm not saying that things are back the way that they used to be, because we did have inflation, and the interest rate now is 9%. It's 9% and stuff. So I mean, Lord help us for those that are going to be doing some financing. But I mean, it's not to deviate and say, okay, well, that's don't do that, right? I mean, if you need to finance, go ahead and finance. Because the price is going to be the price. Yeah, that's right. They are low. They are low, man. Trucks and trailers and stuff. So remember me? I was talking about the first part of the year. I went on ahead and said I was gonna buy me a new reefer unit and stuff, and one of the reasons why I didn't make that decision was because I kept looking at this market and I was like, man, please drop something, man. Like, come on, man. God, I can't, dude. I can't do this, man. God, they needed a decision. They needed a decision and stuff before January about if I want this new reefer unit and stuff, man. They saying like, hey, uh, it's gonna be August before they can get it done and stuff. And so, made a phone call to them. They, hey man, listen, production actually, we actually got some stuff moved around, and we can add your equipment, as soon as February. Oh yeah, really? But um, the day before, I started looking up here on this market. I'm like, man, oh wait a minute, here's something good, and here's something good, and so I started making some phone calls and started talking to some people, and they were showing me They were showing me and stuff, the ins and outs of this particular equipment here and stuff, and they didn't put any, you know, if I had any doubts, they were certainly eliminating and stuff. So I had to call these guys back and say, well, hey, man, um, well, the new people and stuff, I was telling them, I said, man, hey, I appreciate it, but I think I'm gonna reconsider this stuff, right? If anything happens, then I'll just call you back in January and February. But this market is very promising now. It's very promising and stuff. I mean, at first I was very discouraged. I was looking at the equipment and, like I said, good reefer unit, bad trailer, you know. But now, I mean, it's a combination of both, and I'm like, yeah, it's fair, it's a little bit used, but they took real good care of it, and it's selling for a very, very good price. You're not cracking me cross the head and stuff. I don't have to lowball you either. We're walking away, both satisfied. But the problem is that did you follow some of the steps in 2022 to where if you want to make the step in 2023, are you able to do it? Because whatever price that they put out there and stuff, that's going to be the price. And if you ain't got the money, well, they're not going to give it to you. They're not going to give it to you. So, um, first things first, did you get your credit straight? But that's what's been going on and stuff. Let's see if you guys got any questions or whatever and stuff. You can go ahead and put them on out there. What you got, preacher? See, even some trucking companies are selling their equipment for 8K down, and they finance you because they have a truck and trailer sitting. That's right. I mean, yeah, insurance operational costs and stuff, man. That they don't, that stuff went up astronomically. Unfortunately, some places. Some places better than others and stuff, but yeah, the insurance done skyrocketed and stuff, man. So those carriers that got to have insurance, and they got a truck that's sitting and stuff, man. It's costing them. It's costing them and stuff, man, and they're paying for it. So it's like, hey, man, look, this thing, hey, we can always buy equipment later and stuff. Like, man, this thing is, it's starting to become a liability. So we ain't seeing any kind of growth and stuff. Let's go and get rid of it and focus on what we got. Yeah, so it can't be no truck. It can't be no truck sitting in 2023. In 2023 and stuff, if you're looking at the insurance rates and stuff like that, you can't have no truck sitting. You cannot have no truck sitting and stuff unless you just enjoy giving away money. Like, hey, here you go. You gotta have some kind of body that's in it, and that body it's got to be going out there and making it happen. So if you got that contract solidified and stuff, then hey, do what you got to do to get somebody in that seat because these rates and stuff, man, it definitely went up. And there's no sign of dropping. But anyway, I just thought I went on, just go ahead, get up here and say these things and stuff, cause I have done it live in almost 3 weeks now. No, probably longer than that. Um, but still, just let folk know and stuff. I'm still here. I'm still here if you need me. So if you need to reach out to me, my contact information is right up here on the YouTube page. Feel free to hit me up. Just text me first. Let me know what it is that you want to talk about. As long as it's about trucking, I can help you. Then we can set up something and we go ahead and go from there. My Instagram, again, Rhode Island Red Rooster 22. Rhode Island Red Rooster 22 on Instagram. Where I'm always posting up things about my 2013 Freightliner Cascadia because I have been having little issues and stuff that's with it, but important issues nonetheless. And let me say something. Is that I really have to get on I really do have to get on the ball and stuff about um I really do have to get on the ball about the stuff that I post, especially about the Cascadia, because I'm looking up so many videos and stuff about the Cascadia, and one thing I'm saying, yeah, they do have videos that's up, but the people they're just not in English. They're just not in English, and so I feel that I don't want to get up here and start saying a bunch of stuff, redundant that doesn't, that doesn't, help a situation one way or the other. You know, people really look up here; they're really looking for information and stuff like that, and then it's real. You know, it's a bit of a drag when you got a question and somebody's giving the information, but yet it's in another language on a truck as popular as the Cascadia. So. Um, I'm going to have to redo this other video about the 13 speed, the equal 13 speed. So um, I'll be producing that video and stuff. There's a lot of other things and stuff, that's specifically for the Cascadia, unfortunately. So, I can't help you in any other areas when it comes to the truck because I want the information to be factual about the thing that I'm talking about. So, if you got a ken word for if you got a ken word for international, then unfortunately I can't help you with those particular issues and stuff there. I mean, if it's relatable, okay. But, you know, if we're talking about like right now the Cascadia, the CPC2, people still stealing these things and stuff there. I don't think no other equipment is having that type of problem other than the Cascadia. So, if it's Cascadia centered, that's why. And again, I apologize for that, but that's what my expertise is because that's the type of truck that I'm driving. So, I can't, I do have knowledge about other things, 60 series, stuff like that. But, um, right now, it's just, I got to stick to what I'm in and what I'm in and what I'm on. Hold up. Let's see what you got. It said, no more advice on women. No, not really. I ain't, I'm not gonna be that person there. I wish you the best on. I wish you the best on any relationship, and that's the best I can tell you. But my expertise is gonna be right here in trucking in this business right here. It's like I can relate on some things and stuff, but for the most part, I remain silent on those issues and stuff there because You know, it's to each his own on that. There's not some kind of formula and stuff, that you can use to say, okay, yeah, this is absolutely the truth right here. See, question: do you think the market has settled back down to normal rates now, or will it drop below normal rates? Um, let's see. I think the market, yeah, the market has definitely went back. It's gone back to normal rates now and stuff. It's back to business as usual because a lot of the 2022 has really gotten people out of the paint. The astronomical fuel costs and stuff like that. That's gotten people out of the paint. So we're seeing a projection as to where things is going to be in 2023. A lot of things that got established and stuff now. So yeah, I think for the most part, rates and stuff are going to be, yeah, rates are going to be going back to normal. They just need to see where the fuel is gonna settle back down at, and so we're seeing it right now around around 450, 475 some places. So, once they know things are stable, then yeah, you know, rates are gonna go back to normal and stuff like that. Now, as far as what's being produced, um, people are still hinting that we got to have a recession and stuff like that. And so, I mean, I don't know. That's still kind of up in the air and stuff. But yeah, for the most part, I think that the market is the market is going to stabilize as far as rates. So um, that's my prediction. You ain't gonna be doing it. You ain't gonna have to be doing a whole lot of haggling and stuff this year, like you had to last year. And people can't afford to run under par anymore and stuff. You're seeing that. They, it's gotten so bad, people just had to abandon ship. Hey, listen, hey, I got to leave this truck here at the truck stop. I got to leave it here at the truck stop and stuff in there. And, I wish you the best. Come get your equipment. But yeah, you know, let's see. I plan my business around these rates, so I'm good for now when I started 3 years ago. All right. Well, keep on doing your thing, preacher. Keep on doing your thing. Let's see. Andrew needs your help right now. Um, he needs my help. Really? No, I think Chase Andrew's good. I think he's good. I think he's good. Let's see what up, Red. Let's see. Hey, you late to the party? You can always catch the you can always catch the rerun and stuff. So you can always catch the rerun and stuff. Let's see. Jacksonville, Florida in the house. Absolutely. Let's see. I missed it. Yeah. I guess I did and stuff. And look, hey, let's keep it that way. If I missed it, let's just keep it that way, guys. I'm pretty sure whatever it is and stuff is non-business related, and so if it's non-business related, let's just keep it like that. All right. So yeah, it just I'm a little slow. I'm just a little slow. I thought that you was talking about like he needed my help in business. I'm like, no, he's doing okay. He's doing fine in business. And so that's when I should have. Oh, okay, all right. It's something else, and you know, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's what we're gonna do and stuff. So, um, anyhow, just catch the rerun and stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and jump on off here because I am extremely thirsty. I am extremely thirsty, man. Jeez, I gotta have something to drink. So I'm gonna go in here and get me a diet, doctor. I'm gonna get me a diet Mountain Dew and stuff. I don't know why I got taste for them and stuff, but man, I gotta have me a diet Mountain Dew. Jeez, I have been. Ugh, God, I've been fiending for this thing about 3, 4 hours. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and grab me one and get ready for it tomorrow. So, um, yep, that's that, man. I mean, I hope my information stuff was helpful. You guys be safe, and hopefully, Lord's willing, we can do this again real soon. I just don't know when. But other than that, I don't really have any updates and stuff. But if I do have any and stuff, then of course, I'll put that on out there. And I hope again that we are in the 2023 season, that your businesses are very fruitful. I hope that you are very successful. I hope that you let's do things constructively in every and all things and stuff that you do. Whether it's business or relationships. I hope again and stuff that that you get the things that you need and the stuff that you want. I hope that those things that you want, as long as they're constructive, you get those things and stuff as well. So, let's see, just posted to the story. Okay, all right. But anyhow, I wish everybody much success. Uh, Much success. We'll keep an eye on things and stuff as they come. Keep an eye on the market. Again, if you got your money and stuff straight and you're ready to go ahead and make that move into getting things for business, yeah, go ahead and do that. You say the updates. Okay. All right. All right. So anyway, with that being said, this man right here, the one, the only, that beautiful Rhode Island Red Rooster, telling you as always, continue your own research, fact finding studies, harness on your skills every day. Till next time talk, next time meet, be safe, be easy. Peace out.